1957 to 1967, and I'd like to share two pictures in my mind from that time. And the first has to do with Liberation magazine. It's a picture of where the editorial board used to meet, I think on Christopher Street. I was not a founder of Liberation magazine. I was a neophyte, one of several who sat around the walls while at the central table, three figures, each 8 feet high. A.J. Muste, Bayard Rustin, and Dave Dellinger didn't, as far as I could tell, discuss what should be in the next issue of the magazine, but talked about where they had been, Little Rock, the last demonstration, what lessons should be drawn from it. And out of that, Dave McReynolds, sitting at the corner of the table, faithfully taking down notes as to what the articles should be, helped to make a magazine. And as I think back to those discussions that I had the opportunity to be present at, what is so extraordinary to me now is how much the problems that Liberation struggled with are precisely the problems of the new movement that we see growing up all around us. The Marxist and the anarchist traditions, how do we put them together? Is there something called libertarian socialism that could draw on both? Violence and nonviolence, a movement of African Americans and of whites. My second picture is from an event that's several times been referred to already, the Assembly of Unrepresented People in August 1965. That event began with the 20th anniversary of Hiroshima Day on August 6th and continued through several days of workshops and important meetings to a demonstration on the morning of the anniversary of Nagasaki Day, Monday, August 9th. There weren't quite so many people there that morning, Norma, as there had been over the weekend, but we had all mingled our blood and determined what we were going to do together. And so when the meeting at the, the little auditorium there near the Washington Monument broke up, we formed in a line and began walking very slowly toward the Capitol with the idea of declaring peace with the people of Vietnam on the steps of the Capitol. A strategy I would recommend in current circumstances. Somebody may be fighting this war, but it ain't us. As we approach the Capitol grounds, there's that point where the mall ends and the grass begins to slope up toward the Capitol buildings. 2 or 3 lines of the District of Columbia's finest were waiting for us. They were 8 feet tall, every one of them. And I can remember thinking as we approached, what are we supposed to do now? How do you non-violently make your way through a solid line of police officers? I tried to find a solution to that problem. I bounced, and along with Bob Moses and several others, was arrested. But the picture I want to share was that sitting in the paddy wagon, looking through the window, I observed that by happenstance, Dave and Many of the others who had been in our column had not been arrested in that first moment. And instead, David had apparently encouraged them to sit down in a circle, and with the police at his back, was sitting there for all the world conducting a seminar on, I don't know what, civil disobedience, nonviolence as a tactic or a strategy. If we're arrested, should we take bail or should we not take bail? What is the significance of Camus? I had no idea. But the image is of Dave in the midst of this very stressful circumstance teaching. And David, I want to thank you for being my teacher and the teacher of all of us for the past half century.